The expression we use is how we do anything is how we do everything. And just a decision I made based upon a couple things which had been lingering and, I don't know, just coach's decision.
Did this happen in the last couple days leading up to this game? Did it actually happen before last game? Has this been a culmination of things?
I mean, it's the coach's decision. I'm not going to open the door and say, well, this is how it goes. I made a decision not to play him, and that's it.
Sorry. How do you feel like he reacted?
I thought he was good on the bench. I thought he was good in the locker room. We'll see. Okay? If the things we asked him to do, he does, then he'll play. And if he doesn't, then he won't. It's like, what's the point of doing this if we're not going to do it the right way? Okay? So that's it.
What did he say when you told him?
I didn't tell him. Nope.
So did he expect to start today and then he was just like, hey, not starting live, or did somebody inform him that he wasn't going to play?
I mean, honestly, I didn't have time for or the desire for any conversation. It's game day. This is an important game, and I made the decision myself, alongside the support of the staff, and alongside the support of my kind of leadership council within the team. But it's my call. I made the decision. That's what we're doing, and we went forward, and that's it. And he's a tremendous basketball player. He's a really good person, and we'll just see what. It's not what happens; it's how you react to it. So there's just no sense in discussing it. This decision I made, and we'll just see in the future. That's all.
Based on the fact that you also had to send a message from a week ago today for a little bit, and now this is a pretty big message today, Doug, is there a chance that he may not even end the year here, that he's not going to make it? Is there a concern that this just isn't going to get fixed?
I'd hope not, but again, that's his call, not mine.
How do you balance trying to build that culture and do the right thing in that, but also owe it to the guys to try to win these games, a big conference game, and obviously you're going to be at a disadvantage without him? How do you balance that?
I owe it to the guys to play the guys that do what we ask them to do. Period. That's it. It's like when you're coaching. When I'm coaching AAU kids, right? And you have a really good player, and that really good player is and you say, well, you have to be at practice on Wednesday or you don't play, right? And then you get to the AAU game on Saturday, and are you gonna play that kid who's really, really talented? Okay, but what does it say about the rest of the kids? So there's things that transpire that I don't find appropriate to play today, and I made the personal decision to not play Anthony Roy. And we got to be better anyway. We got to be better with him. We got to be without him. Doesn't matter. We got to establish a culture of this team. Okay? Last year I know they struggled when they didn't have Noah. Okay, so obviously you look and you're like, hey, he's a 28-point a game scorer. He's a tremendous basketball player. He's a good person. Okay, so I made the personal decision. I talked to my staff today, okay, that I know how I want to do it, and too many times in my life, and probably too many times in the last 6 months, I've acquiesced based upon this, based upon that. It's not just in this situation. And you wake up and you're like, what am I doing, right? You only get one shot at this thing. Do it the right way. It's like if you build a house. That's what we're building. We're building a house. Okay? And if you go the foundation, well, we can save money here, we can save money there. You get one chance at a dream home. This is my dream home. Okay? I'm building it. I'm going to spend the extra time and the extra expense and do it the right way. Okay? That way, when it gets built, okay, if it doesn't get built to my specifications, then I'll always feel negative about it. Josh gave me an unbelievable opportunity to run a basketball program. Okay? And Sonny did a great job. 2 years ago, they were bottom of the league, but not just bottom of the league in basketball, bottom of the league in And we talked about it at my press conference. We talked about it personally. We were about in the league and other things. Right? I want to be the best team in the league at every different thing across the board. So, nothing nefarious, okay? Nothing to worry about. This was my decision. And my decision alone. And I did have the support of coaching staff and players, leadership players. But even that doesn't matter. I was doing it regardless. And, again, either behaviors change or they don't. That's it. People do what's important to them. That's what I've learned.
You guys are struggling a little bit trying to get a win here.
Sure.
It's been a tough couple of weeks. How is the locker room right now?
I thought before the game they were encouraged. I thought they were a little discouraged. I mean, look, it sucks to get your butt beat at home. It just does. It's not fun. But we'll get there. Okay? I have full faith, full confidence in the process. Obviously everybody got caught up in the Sixers thing with trust the process. And look, I'm going to make mistakes. I made mistakes in the last game. I made mistakes in all the other games. I made a couple of mistakes. We went to a zone the last possession of the first half just to kind of give it a quick look. So maybe they could go in the locker room. And bang, bang, they hit 2 threes, and all of a sudden that thing spiraled out of control a little bit. When we were really doing a pretty good job of defending the way we wanted to defend. And, they were struggling from 3, and we gave up a couple of probably pretty too easy rhythm threes in the first half. But look, I'm going to make mistakes, okay? But I'm going to make mistakes out of preparation. I'm going to make mistakes out of, a desire to try and fix something. But I'm not going to make mistake based upon the culture that we're trying to build. And who your best player is who your team is. And, I told there's a line from Jurassic Park. Remember when the raptors, first time they go and they see the raptor cage, and the basically zookeeper says, they're smart, they're cunning, they test different parts of the fence every day, right? Never the same part. That's what college athletes are like. That's what college kids are like, right? I mean, you all have kids, right? Your kids are going to test you. Okay? And either you're going to be a person of your word or you're not. And if you acquiesce to little things enough, it fractures the culture, right? And again, go back to the foundation analogy. If you allow cracks in the foundation when you're building a home, then when you build the home and you get it all done, you got this beautiful kitchen, this unbelievable look at the lake and all these other things. It doesn't matter. You got a bad foundation. You're going to have water in your basement. It's going to be a complete mess. So we're laying a foundation. This is, as I told you, obviously nobody's coming and calling Josh right now for me to hire me. I told you this is not a one-year plan. Okay? Yes, we are going to try and win games. I think ultimately we got a chance to be the best team in this league. Okay? Right now we are not. Right now we're probably the worst team in this league. That's okay. Okay? We're going to do it the right way, or we're not going to do it at all. There's no purpose in cutting and cheating steps and going well, he can really score. So no, this is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. They have a decision to make. Show up Monday. I think it's 8 or 9 a.m., 8 a.m., 8 a.m. Monday, or don't. Doesn't matter to me. I only ask that they have good grades. Okay? Have good grades, be good citizens, show up on Monday, ready to work. So, again, I'm actually encouraged by a couple things, right? Roy Oselka starting to play. Mac Recchi, until he gets really tired and he has to fight through that, he's starting to give us good minutes. Ben Tweedy struggled a little bit with turnovers, but he was actually +6. Okay? Some of that's at the end of the game. I thought Foster played really well in the first half, tired in the second half. Rudy's numbers defensively are outstanding. He's struggling to make a shot. They'll fall. Same thing with Marcus. I think Marcus is worn down a little bit. So, and people are beating us up. And remember, he's 19 years old. That's the age of most freshmen in college basketball. Most freshmen are 19 or 20. I thought Jeremiah Johnson gave us good minutes, and he'd been struggling a little bit recently. So, we made the decision to not start Jeremiah last game for something. I made the decision to not play Anthony Roy for something. And I thought Jeremiah handled it very well. We'll see how Anthony handles it.
You mentioned correctly that when Noah was out last year for this team, they weren't anywhere near as good. They lost With the way this team is built, if Anthony misses games, can this team still be competitive? Or for this year, does he have to be out there to have this team be successful?
He doesn't have to be out anywhere. That's all. I mean, like, listen, Marcus Hall's 19. Jeremiah Johnson's a freshman. Mac Recky's a redshirt freshman. Roy Oselka's a freshman. Ben Tweedy's a freshman. C.J. O'Hara's a freshman. Donovan Santoro is basically, he didn't play last year. He's going to get that year back. Okay, they're young players. They have to learn. Okay, but it's not an excuse that he didn't play. We're plenty good enough. We were in the game. We were competitive. We made some mental mistakes offensively. Turned the ball over too much in the first half. We were right there. And then it just got away from us. And, I take the blame for it getting away from us because I switched defenses for one possession to just take a look at something. That's a mistake. And it wasn't the defensive switch that we talked about doing. We were kind of trying to wait till the second half, but it had just gotten away from us. So we got to get better. We got to play through physicality, play through contact, be sharper with our cuts, be in better shape. And I actually think, again, this is a little thing, but we've had issues with our bench where guys are over there in their feelings over not playing. And I say, hey, look, last week, we played against, who did we play last night? Campbell? We had a shot clock violation and nobody said anything. Nobody said anything. And today, anytime we got to a certain point, you heard the shot clock call. So again, I know people don't see it. I do. Okay? Today was we won today, even though we lost. Okay? We won because I will not bend to little things. Just won't. I was, you overthink so many decisions, right? But I was driving, and I come the same route every time. I know it's not probably the most direct route from my house, but I always come, I think that's Lombardi, right? I exit, and I come down Lombardi for a reason. And then I looked at Lambeau Field, and I was on Lombardi, and I was thinking about my dad, and about Lombardi, and about Lambeau, and about Coach Bennett. And I thought to myself, what would they do? And the decision was really obvious, and that's what I did. So if you think you lost today, again, you have a 22-point difference that says you're right. I believe we won today. We established the non-negotiables within our program. So we are not going to be entitled because we haven't earned anything. And we are going to do it the right way or not do it at all.
Isaiah was in street clothes today. What does his future really look like?
Same thing. Same thing.
What do you think you know about your team through 10 games?
It's good. That's actually a very, very good question. Still learning. I think I think I understand a lot better how I want to use Marcus. I got to be smarter about it. I'm learning how to coach Foster and get the best out of him. Foster had his best half of basketball in the first half, and it wasn't just because shots went in. It was, if you watch defensively, he gave us everything he had. I've learned actually a lot about myself. I think what happens is you want to win so bad. You want to win so bad. Not just for the kids, but also there's so many people in this community who continue to support us, can support me personally, and you want to give them that little something that tells them there's a reason to believe, okay? And I think there were times in which, and there was a couple times today in which you turn a little bit too negative. And I've made the cognitive decision to not coach that way, okay? I can't beat them up. I can't break them down and build them back up. And, the reason guys were taken out of the game, there's, Tweedy was probably the one exception just because he's struggling with some just careless turnovers due to the physicality of the game. But we told them, if you don't rebound, if you don't box out, if you don't defend, if you don't play with great energy, I'm taking you right out. And that's what we did today. That's the reason for every sub today. No other reason. Maybe fatigue. Guy was just, Roy one time was falling down tired in the first half. So we have to be the hardest playing, best conditioned, toughest team. And once we get there, you'll see a difference. And then if Anthony Roy wants to join us, you'll see a real difference. So what have I learned about him? There's a lot more there. You know, I've had people tell me that you can't play Mac Recchi at this level. I disagree. And I think you see that he can play. Roy Yoselka, he can play. I've learned how to coach Foster. I have a really good working relationship with Broody. We got to get him making some shots. We got to get him a little bit more confident. I think Marcus Hall, he's such a great kid that when we don't play well, he just beats himself up. And so I got to be positive, but not in a fake way, because they're smart kids. They see through everything, just like the Raptors. They're going to test you every day, but also they're going to feel you out if you're fake to them. So I'm learning how to coach at this level. I'm learning how to coach these kids. I'm learning how to run a program. And at the end of the day, I know I have all the correct instincts. Go with your instincts. Go with your gut. It's never wrong. And my instincts are, do it the right way from today, and you will reap the benefits, whether it's in December, January, February, March this year, or on down the line. But this place has been coached by fabulous coaches. And I believe all of them believe in the same stuff. And can you win a game? I said this last time we were here. You have to be willing to lose a game in November, December if you really want to win in March. It all gets exposed. Okay? All gets exposed. And I want a program that the people in the Fox Valley, the people in Green Bay, that my boss, Mike Alexander, my boss, Josh Moon, are proud of on a daily basis. And if we aren't, it's not going to be because of the wins and losses. It's because of how we carry ourselves. Do we go to class? What's our team GPA? Are we doing the right things at practice every day? Are we doing the right things in the classroom and in the community every day? We do all those things, I believe the wins will follow. Those actually things do matter. They really do. How we do anything is how we do everything. And Matt Painter has an expression, and I love it. Okay, we don't become you, you become us. And that was the decision we made today.
I felt like that intensity was there early in the first half a little bit. Just maybe
just couldn't score.
Well, how do you maybe sustain what you were doing early on over the course of 40 minutes? Or is that? No.
I mean, again, that's on me. I knew we should have. You know, I mean, you're again. Even right now, I'm overthinking things. You know, I have a deep playbook. Right? I have my play sheet, and I chose today. You know, once it got to a place where I'm like, let's just let them kind of figure it out. Because within the offense, they have to be able to just run offense. We can't simply call a set every time down. So could we have grinded it out? Probably, okay? But once it got a little bit away at halftime and then the start the second half, it got worse, I made my decision to let's just see who competes, how they compete, who reads the defense. Because it's really a read and react offense. And again, it's probably not perfect for some of our personnel. But you know, the guys we've recruited, you get people saying like, well, hey, there's no post-ups. It's not true. Okay, there's plenty of rolls, plenty of action inside the lane. We don't want to be shooting middies, and we don't want a guy standing down there in the post, just throw it in there. And you know, they did some Barclays, which is kind of backing you down stuff. That's part of the offense. We just don't have anybody who does that. But you saw with Roy, like there's room to throw the ball inside, to play inside out, to get, still to get those good twos. So there's some good there that they're figuring out. But again, like remember guys, we are, 10 games in? And again, like things you learn, right? All of these other coaches, we talked about this, I think 2 weeks ago. All these other coaches that played D2s and D3s as part of their traditional schedule, okay? And we kind of got screwed up in the exhibition in that, Anthony had 46, so we didn't really get a sense of where we were, and I don't think we built up our confidence. And then again, even in our scrimmage, I was so concerned with, I wanted to win because I wanted them to believe that what we were doing would work instead of use it to develop, right? So again, there's all sorts of different processes to do it. But we are where we are, and I believe I don't think we're just fine, okay? But I think today we won today because it's part of the foundation of the culture that we have to build. Because if we don't, it will come back to bite us. I promise you. Everybody knows that. And I'm, believe it or not, very, very encouraged. We continue to be close. It just does not appear that way in the score sheet.